Greetings. My name is Lee Yasanowski Call. I'm a Puget Sound longshoreman. I hail from the port of Seattle. And this is my friend Ron Magden, Waterfront Historian of Washington State, who has written several books about the history of my industry and the ongoing struggle to unionize it and keep it unionized, a struggle which began well over 100 years ago. We are standing here today on the Murray Morgan Bridge in the port of Tacoma. And we're standing by this historic plaque dedicated to the Tacoma longshoremen, which discusses how the Tacoma longshoremen never surrendered. In the course of the struggle to unionize our industry, 7 longshoremen were killed by deputized police officers in the state of Washington. Brother Ron Magden is an expert researcher who has gone through the entire story of each and every one of those 7 longshoremen and is here to talk to us a little bit about it. Ron, can you tell us about each of those 7 martyrs?
First one was named Joe Ryan, 1910, shot in the back on First Avenue in Seattle by a deputy sheriff who they said got antsy. But the point was I beg your pardon, let's start over. The 7 men who were killed in various strikes on the Puget Sound waterfront were men who were generally on picket duty and were assailed by professional strike breakers. The first was Joe Ryan in 1910, shot in the back. The second was Joe Goldsby, 1916, Seattle. Then James Costello, 1916, Seattle. Then in 1934, there was, one more in 16 was Alexander Laidlaw of Tacoma. And then came in 1934, Shelvy Daffron, and Olaf Helland. And they were all assailed and killed by deputies, and they all had coroner inquests, all recommended charge of murder or what happened to the men, and judges swept aside the coroners, juries, and dismissed the charges against those men. We're standing right now on the corner where 2 in Tacoma in 1916 were killed. And
can you tell us specifically what happened here on this corner?
Yes, right
to those
here.
2 men in 1916.
Well, I'm standing right in the spot where Alexander Laidlaw was killed. He was standing here and talking about going to a movie with a friend. They just come off picket duty, and a guy got out of off the bus. The bus is stopped right here, and he his shoulder punched Laidlaw's, and Laidlaw looked at him, and before he knew it, the guy had shot him in the stomach. And the crowd closed in, and some of them pickets, some of them strike breaker, and there was going to be a riot in a way, and somebody pulled a couple of rifles and they shot in the air and then shut it down, and that happened, and as I said, the coroner's inquest to the judge and all that, and dismissed. Although a huge outcry from the public that he'd been murdered. And then just a week later, on the other corner, surprise,
the other corner, just across?
Just across the way, they shot another fellow, and he, Union longshoreman, and absolutely no cause or charge, just shot him because they wanted to intimidate the line. You have to know that if they were outside that line, the 2 strikers, and there were bales of hay behind them to keep anybody from getting across this bridge. They wanted the port shut. They wanted it all shut off, and the strikers had put those hay bales there and kept that bridge from being used for 127 days. So, but they were killed on both sides, and the strikers came right back and took their positions and stayed the whole time. And they were, this plaque is entitled "Never Surrender," and the longshoremen of Tacoma are the only longshore local on the West Coast that's never surrendered, never admitted to defeat the strike. And finally, in the 16 strike, the employers had to come and ask the men to go back to work. It was a moral victory. But the two men who were killed here there was never any justice for them.
Thank you, Brother Ron Magden, for this history. And all of you watching this at home, please take off your hats and give a moment of silence to James Costello and Alexander Laidlaw of the Port of Tacoma, who died so that we could have a better future. And please help us make it possible to prosecute cops for homicide in the state of Washington.